all the beautiful ladies in the building tonight. I love y'all. Ooh. But I want to thank God, the beautiful ladies on my label, Interscope, CMG, and all my beautiful women fans. And I don't know, like, shout out to Memphis for making me and raising me. And shout out to Billboard. Let's go.
You don't stand up, nigga, got my pants up, nigga, you don't want to see this stuff. I'm always talking.
Oh. Hey, how y'all doing? Come on over here, man. Y'all whole squad, you know what I'm saying?
Let's go! Lights working on the red light. And the red lights working on the red light. And the red lights working on the red light.
She didn't post a breakup. She didn't cry online. She just vanished, and in her place, a new queen rose. This isn't just drama, ... It's a silent takeover. And nothing about it was accidental. Let me break it down for you. Before GloRilla so much as uttered a word, the internet had already imploded. The moment she stepped into the spotlight, social media lit up like a Christmas tree on caffeine. Praise poured in for Yodi, and before long whispers turned into viral chants about him being a top contender for bonus parent of the year. But don't be fooled, this isn't some heartwarming family fairy tale. This story has layers, glamour, calculated moves, and absolute chaos. Here's where it gets strange. Angela Simmons vanished into thin air. One moment she's commanding attention on the red carpet, dressed like she's born to slay, and the next, gone. Not a single post. No cryptic song lyrics. No teary-eyed selfies. Not even a passive-aggressive story. Just ... Silence. It wasn't your average breakup fade-out either. It felt like someone yanked her storyline from existence. Like a season finale cancelled right before the big twist. Remember, this was the couple. Think, opulent lifestyles, curated vacations, those just another Tuesday on our private jet posts, and an aura of chemistry that drew followers like moths to a designer flame. And then, total blackout. Fans were left scrolling in confusion, tapping and refreshing like social media detectives trying to connect the dots. But just when it seemed like people were beginning to decode the drama, reality tossed in a plot twist that felt pulled from a scripted series. The line between authenticity and performance blurred, and everyone was left wondering, who's playing a part, and who's just living out loud.
My little boy's gonna look like at 8.
Isn't that crazy?
But obviously you've been a single mom for a long time. I'm a single mom. What has that journey been like for you? And I'm sorry for the passing of your son's father. I know that was terrible.
Very hard. It was, honestly, I didn't see that coming. Obviously, even with me and his dad separated, it was just like, I never thought that could be me. It was a really hard thing to go through. I didn't even know how to process it. Like, soon as everything happened, I honestly went to therapy the day, 2 days after it happened, because I was like, I don't know how to process this. My son's name is his father's name, and I just never knew that would be me. I mean, his father's side of the family is absolutely supportive and amazing. And so that helps. And my family's so amazing. So that helped me a lot. So I've leaned into family a lot, and that has been helpful for me. But I never thought I'd be a single mom. I'm like, you have a kid to think this is what it's going to be. And this is how in your head, it's got to be perfect.
Yodi didn't just make music. He turned hip-hop into his own personal love letter, one beat at a time. His verses weren't just bars, they were declarations. Track after track, it was obvious. This man was wearing his heart proudly, and Angela Simmons was his muse. The world tuned in as he redefined romantic energy, mixing luxury with vulnerability. We saw the private jets, the candlelit dinners, the posts dripping in grandeur and captions that practically screamed, "Only royalty rides this wave." Angela. She was front and center for all of it, living in the glow of his spotlight, soaking in the soft life aesthetic, and riding high on the fantasy they both seemed to embody. For a while, it looked like the fairy tale was real. Until, just like that, it wasn't. The laughs stopped echoing through comment sections. The cheeky reposts and those aesthetic couple reels set to smooth R&B. Gone. Fans who once basked in their synchronized timeline now found nothing but silence. No flair, no updates. Just a void where a love story used to live. In Angela. She didn't make a scene. She didn't need to. She mastered the quiet exit with surgical precision. One silent unfollow, louder than any dramatic thread or cryptic caption. No subtweets, no song lyrics to dissect. She didn't whisper a word, but the message rang clear. The show was over. Suddenly, the couple selfies disappeared, the glam-packed seats canceled, the matching luxury fits off the grid. Even the red carpet photos that once felt like the blueprint for aspirational love were wiped away like they'd never existed. Angela didn't just close a chapter, she burned the script and walked off set without a glance back. Let's not pretend the internet didn't catch on instantly when Angela Simmons quietly stepped into her I am the prize era. She didn't need loud declarations or messy drama, her vibe said it all. There was a new calm in her captions, cool but laced with precision, and just enough shade to send a message without ever naming names. Fans weren't guessing, they knew. This wasn't a pause, it was a finale. Angela didn't rely on heartbreak playlists, teary-eyed carousels, or paragraph-long notes. She delivered her message with surgical silence, and in that kind of quiet, the kind that echoes in a stadium full of broken hearts. Her presence spoke louder than any breakup anthem ever could. Then, right on cue, GloRilla entered. Not slipped in, strode in, like she'd been waiting for her cue. As the timeline adjusted to Angela's graceful fade, it was almost too perfectly timed. People didn't miss the pattern. Fans remembered, GloRilla and Yodi go way back. This wasn't some overnight label newbie getting lucky. From the start, her moves followed a blueprint. And Gotti. He wasn't just launching an artist, he was curating a whole experience. We're talking about the full CMG fantasy, private jets, icy drops, velvet ropes, and non-stop flashes. It looked luxurious, but the energy, it felt, personal. The internet caught on quickly. This wasn't just a business deal, this was a rebrand in motion. And just like that, GloRilla went from rising talent to timeline obsession. The moment Angela disappeared, she emerged shimmering, confident, and in control. Not with a forced rollout, but a subtle shift that electrified the digital space. New glow, new lace, flawless visuals. And she didn't just post, she commanded attention. Twitter detectives dissected every photo, every detail like it was NYFW. When she finally went live, it wasn't drama, it was charm. Effortless, browsing, casual laughs, a hair flip, and a grin that said, "I'm that girl," and people ate it up. Because let's be real, this wasn't accidental. This was rollout as performance art, live streams with their own theme music, posts with cinematic pacing. GloRilla didn't walk into the room, she owned it. In minutes, whispers became hashtags, trending threads lit up the feed, and suddenly, Yodi was back in everyone's mouth, but this time, not as Angela's partner. As GloRilla's leading man, fans noticed the shift instantly. It wasn't just a new chapter for her, it was a whole relaunch. People started mapping out timelines like detectives, piecing together the clues. Had Yodi passed the crown to GloRilla? Because the way she moved now, this wasn't a supporting role. This was main character territory, luxury, confidence, first-class energy. She didn't blend in. She redefined the room. Meanwhile, comparisons were unavoidable. Angela had always exuded elegance, poised, polished, and devoted. She gave us that classic power couple dynamic. But GloRilla, she was glammed up, globetrotting, and unapologetically bold. Red carpet tready, iced out, and making statements with every move. And as GloRilla rose, Angela seemed to fade. Gone were the cute soft launch posts, the matching outfits, the shared spotlight. Fans started whispering that Angela had seen it coming long before we did, that the perfect pictures were just smoke and mirrors. That while she was still invested in the fairy tale, Yodi was already rewriting the script with someone new. Angela may have been holding up the illusion, but behind the scenes, she'd already packed up emotionally. GloRilla, on the other hand, seized her moment. And it wasn't just a new artist push, it felt like a shift in power. With energy, resources, and attention now orbiting around her, Yodi did more than just pivot away from Angela. He stepped into GloRilla's world, front and center, showing up for her louder than he ever did in those final Angela days. From front row support to cosign, that echoed across every digital platform. Gotti's alignment was crystal clear. Angela, she was left watching the replay of a spotlight she once owned, now tuned to someone else's frequency. For months, Angela had held strong, loyal, and hopeful, still fighting for a future that, quietly, had already shifted beneath her. Yodi, once the romantic lead, had become a background tab. Open, quiet, but still running. The public noticed. He stopped posting about her. No more "look at my queen" captions. The silence said it all. And then GloRilla. Her rise wasn't just well-timed, it was strategic. She didn't creep in after Angela. She launched as soon as the spotlight dimmed, and fans felt the difference. This wasn't your average artist debut. It was a full-scale takeover. Now, whenever CMG is mentioned, GloRilla isn't just part of the roster, she's the face of the brand. The jewel in the crown. Angela. Her role became quieter than ever, a whisper in the story she once led. Gotti didn't just move on. He rewrote the whole plot, so now the question is, who is GloRilla? Because judging by the way the world responds, she's not just an artist, she's the moment. It flashes like a headline on Broadway, loud, confident, and impossible to ignore. But this isn't just label PR. Watch how Yodi moves with her. This isn't management, it's mutual alignment. He tags her relentlessly, boosts her wins, and celebrates her like she's the main act because, let's be honest, she is. The fans, they're dissecting every second. Those sly smiles, stolen glances, the subtle lean-ins during interviews, the way their eyes find each other in a sea of flashing cameras. That's not marketing, that's chemistry. And when they hit the stage together, it's lightning in a bottle. You can try to call it business, but that kind of gaze doesn't lie. This is rom-com level tension disguised as a press tour, and everyone's watching the GloRilla up unfold in crystal clear 4K. Every post, every move, says the quiet part out loud. Gotti's already made his choice. You can call it a rollout, but we've seen this story before. It's a live-streamed soap opera unraveling post by post, frame by frame. GloRilla, she's living the looks dream. Flying private. Dripping in elegance. Walking through doors like her name's engraved on the entryway. Gotti doesn't need to explain anything. His actions have already done the talking. This isn't just a breakup, it's a shift. One that hits harder than any cliché about distance or busy schedules. This was no slow fade. It was a snap, clean, cold, decisive. Angela, once center stage, slowly pulled back. No dramatic exits, no direct shots, just a steady silence. A whisper of heartbreak behind soft selfies and vague captions. But while her story softened into grayscale, GloRilla arrived in full Technicolor. Bold, confident, unapologetically, loud, no sad quotes, no emotional breadcrumbs, just full erasure of what came before. And on social media, GloRilla is pure flame. Looks that stop traffic, captions with bite, and presence that screams, "I'm already running this." She isn't here to explain herself, she's here to own her arc. Meanwhile, Angela's page feels like a quiet retreat. No more "my king" dedications, no matching outfits, no behind-the-scenes bliss. The posts now. Healing. Solitude. A quiet declaration that says, "I've moved on, and I'm not looking back." But make no mistake, Angela was the anchor, the unseen glue of what looked like a power couple. She cheered the loudest, showed up the hardest, but now, she's benched herself. She's off the court, and GloRilla is rising like a headliner. This isn't just celebrity gossip anymore. This is a full-on power pivot. And none of it feels random. Every move seems plotted, like the script was written long before rumors began to surface. Whispers turned into battles across timelines. Angela's loyalists still stand tall, but GloRilla, she's winning the streets. Every time she steps outside, the internet hits refresh. Every room she walks into becomes hers. The way she carries herself. It's like she knows she's untouchable. Meanwhile, Yodi stays mostly silent. No captions, no declarations. Just that heavy, deliberate absence, the kind that says he's already acted, and now he's letting the world catch up. And let's be real, the Angela and Gotti romance never truly fit the mold. Even when it looked picture-perfect on the outside, it had all the aesthetics of a fairy tale. Grand gestures, over-the-top devotion, designer gifts wrapped in public, adoration. From the outside, it felt like a love story set to background music and tailored for Instagram, the kind of carefully curated romance people repost as #goals without knowing what's happening behind the lens. But beneath the glitz, something always felt off. A little too rehearsed, a little too manicured. And when Angela gave him her full heart, When she stopped playing it safe and leaned in with everything she had, something subtle but seismic changed. Suddenly, the sparkle looked a little duller. The posts became more spaced out. The mutual energy, that public reinforcement we've all come to expect from celebrity couples, started to dry up. It wasn't loud, and that's what made it so telling. Behind those perfectly filtered photos were cracks. The soft focus lenses couldn't blur the distance between two people falling out of sync. You can pose, you can filter, you can caption with romantic lyrics, but you can't fake reciprocity. Not for long. And then, without warning or drama, it all went quiet. Now, nothing, just silence. Deafening, revealing, the kind of silence that doesn't beg for attention, it commands it, and with that stillness came the questions. Not from the press, not from management, but from the people who've been watching since day one. The digital detectives, the ride or die fans, the casual observers, all of them started connecting the dots in real time. Did GloRilla just claim the throne? Was this all a long game? A transition that looked like fate but was designed in strategy? Or was it simply a love story that looked good on camera? One that couldn't survive off script? Whatever the truth may be, one thing is crystal clear: GloRilla's rise is no accident. Her trajectory isn't impulsive or chaotic, it's calculated. She moves with the precision of someone who understands branding, power, and the art of silence. Each social media post feels like a chess piece being moved, not for attention, but for impact. No mixed signals, no second guessing, just a constant, upward motion that leaves no room for competition. She's not waiting for permission. She's not seeking validation. She's already acting like the crown was made for her, and the internet is buying in. Meanwhile, Angela and Gotti have both gone completely quiet. Not a caption, not a like, not even a digital slip-up. And in celebrity culture, that kind of vacuum isn't normal, it's intentional. Something happened behind those doors. You don't vanish like that unless something real, something raw, forced the curtain to drop. That their silence is louder than 1,000 think pieces. And the fans, they're not sleeping. They're watching timelines, zooming in on the body language in old clips, replaying interviews, reading between every line. They know something shifted, and they're waiting for confirmation, even if they never get it. Because this kind of glittering chaos doesn't fade quietly, it explodes in waves. The Angela Gotti fallout feels less like a breakup and more like a restructuring, a reset, a passing of the torch without ceremony, a new chapter with new rules. What makes it more intense is the contrast. Angela, once the polished, elegant counterpart in their public love story, now presents a completely different narrative. Her current social media presence is minimalist and reflective. No more #couple goals. No more heart-eyed emoji, just self-affirming quotes, soft visuals, and solo power poses. It says, "I'm done, I've healed, I've evolved," and it tracks. Angela was always the one holding the structure together, the quiet backbone of the image. She celebrated Gotti, stood by him, gave their union that black love feel that felt grounded and aspirational. But now, she's off the stage. The mic's been dropped. No farewell, no PR statement. Just a quiet exit with dignity intact. And as she steps out, GloRilla steps all the way in. What was once subtle is now commanding. Her presence online is read, from couture outfits to unapologetic captions. She's not just participating, she's leading. Headlines don't just mention her, they orbit around her. The way she captions her posts says it all. "I don't owe you a backstory, just watch." And Yodi, his silence is even more telling. The man once known for shouting his love from the rooftops now barely whispers. No more "look at my queen" moments. No acknowledgement of what was. Just silence, strategic, deliberate silence. And it screams, that chapter is closed. What's wild is that this didn't unfold like a messy Hollywood split. There were no shade-laced interviews, no bitter social media back and forths, no teary-eyed tell-alls. It was clean. Almost too clean. Which makes you wonder, was it always meant to end like this? The fans can feel it. This isn't just about love. It's about power, influence, image, and GloRilla is at the center of it. She didn't just step into the light, she absorbed it. Every room she enters, every feed she touches, it's hers now. She's not moving like a new signee. She's moving like she owns the building. Her confidence is designer. Her strategy is airtight, and while Angela's legacy still holds weight, and her supporters continue to hold her down, it's clear the spotlight has shifted. GloRilla is front and center. And whether people love it, hate it, or pretend not to care, they're watching. Because it's more than celebrity tea now. It's a cultural moment. We're witnessing the reshuffling of a digital dynasty. And the biggest twist, no one said a word. No explanation. No closure. Just silence. Glowing skin, headline-grabbing appearances, and a storyline the internet can't stop writing. So here's the real question. Did GloRilla officially take the crown? Was this a cold, clean break designed for a glow-up? Or is this just another modern love story that looked like destiny but played out like a rebrand? Regardless of the answer, GloRilla is up. And she's not coming down anytime soon. This story, far from over. And when the next twist hits the timeline, best believe the internet will be ready.